Welcome to the State of Affairs, my monthly update series. I'm your host, King Crusoe. You can call me KC, and this month I'm using this screen to record again for the first time in a little while because I simply don't have time to deal with the editing that goes into doing the more, I guess at this point, the new normal State of Affairs format. This time I'm just going to be doing things right here, making it pretty simple in recording so that I can get the video out very quickly because, well, let's just say that time has not been in my favor as of recent, and I've been extraordinarily busy to the point that I completely have, like, forgotten all about basically any form of video for the last couple of weeks. I've only made a couple when I've absolutely needed to and come very close to not being able to even make those in time, even with rushing them. Because every day I'm at work, I wear myself out mentally, and then I have another project that I'm supposed to be working on every day after work when I'm at home, trying to do freelance stuff, and that's been difficult because my brain's already melted by the time I get home from work these days. So I really just kind of trying at this point in time. Feels good, feels weird, feels bad, all at the exact same time. So without further ado, let's just kind of jump into what this update is going to talk about. Again, it'll be a pretty short one. Start off with last month's videos. On the main channel, I released 15 videos in April. Almost every single one of those videos was recorded ahead of time, and that's going to be a trend that you'll see in May as well. Basically, every video coming out in May was already done long before May ever rolled around. On the second channel, I released 6 videos this month. Again, almost all of those were done a good bit ahead of time, or at least ahead of Overhaul, my real life busy job stuff that's been going on. For video highlights, I will just shout out a couple videos that I was pretty excited to make. The first one of those was you'll see, like, right over here, The Way of a Dan's Broken Binding Special Edition of that book, which I got. I did an unboxing video for that. I don't have a proper thumbnail to show off in here, so I'm not going to do that, but I did do a brief little unboxing video of that. That was definitely one of the highlights of the month. But otherwise, I've just enjoyed seeing the reaction to some of the reviews and stuff that I've had come out. Reviews such as Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier and Red Rabbit by Alex Grecian had a lot better reaction than I was anticipating they would. And then my next 2 videos, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson and Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones, were 2 reviews that had way bigger reactions than I thought they would. Both of these 2 videos had over 100 views, and for reviews in such a small channel as myself, that's pretty surprising, I have to say. So very happy about the status of reviews on this channel generally being the most viewed content type. I honestly really love that, given that I've spent so much time focusing hard on doing primarily reviews or review sort of stuff. So even though it's caused my channel growth as a whole to be a little bit slower, it's still been really great, you know, seeing that there are people, relatively speaking, still interested in watching reviews. It's what most of my channel is about at this point. On the second channel, the main video that I wanted to shout out is that Music Mania, the main thing that I'm doing on the second channel at this point, is currently on hiatus. As a result of the time problems, I just have not had time to actually do anything with that series. I thought that I would be able to do like one of those episodes every other week instead of every week. I have at this point not done one of those videos for like 3 or 4 weeks, and yeah, I'm not going to have time for a little while more to do that. As is, just doing the brief monthly update stuff this weekend is more a matter of serendipitous timing, you know, things happening that have allowed me to spend a tiny bit of time doing this right now, when otherwise I probably should be doing other things, but I'm just getting through these and then I'll be done. But speaking of, you know, channel status, especially in regards to the main channel, like I was talking about before with reviews and whatnot, let's actually talk about the channel statistics over here, starting off with the main channel, where I got about 2,200 views, so still very good month this month. I was not expecting to break 2,000 views in April pretty much at all, so the fact that I did that pretty handily is exciting. Very grateful for that. I appreciate that viewership. I also appreciate the watch time. Got 170.9 watch hours, where the goal was 150, and I wasn't quite sure I would even reach 150 this month. Again, I still did it. relatively handily, so I thank all of you for that. Then I had, I believe, my record-breaking month for impressions. I'm pretty sure 140,000 impressions basically is the record, and handily so, given that it's up 30.9% from last month, and last month I think was like 100 and something thousand impressions, if I'm not mistaken. It might not have been, but it might have been. I forget some of the numbers from month to month. All of it just kind of runs together either way. Pretty sure this is a record-breaking impression month. So again, grateful for that. Really cool to see my videos being pushed out in pretty nice ways. Granted, a lot of that was the Way of a Dan special edition video being shared by Philip Chase's channel directly. That was probably a lot of those impressions. In fact, I'm sure it was a ton of those impressions, but still my point stands. I also had a net gain of 6 subscribers in April, putting my total at 841, and I'm not going to lie, I will be brutally honest here, that it was a very disappointing number compared to the last handful of months. That is a very low number. It's the first time I've been in single digits for several months at this point in time, and the main reason that that net gain was mentioned in there was because I think I actually gained more like 13 or 14 subscribers this month. I just happened to lose a lot in the middle of the month as well. Kind of similar to what I was saying last month, if I'm not mistaken, actually, where I gained a good bit of subscribers, but I lost several as well. Not entirely sure what exactly is inspiring that, but my guess would be just the mass influx that I had from a random top 5 video that I did back in December, which caused like 65 subscribers in that month. I would suppose that maybe some of those people are realizing that that isn't necessarily what my channel is doing. My channel is not the channel maybe that they thought that they were subscribing to, and so just kind of, silently left, and that's no big deal. It's okay. Just, sometimes a little bit strange to watch your analytics and be like, oh, wow, I just lost 3 subscribers today. That's weird. In fact, I don't even think I had a net gain in subscribership until like halfway through the month. I think I lost several subscribers over the first like week of April. By the time I recorded, in between recording the March State of Affairs and it posting, just like those 2 days or something that it took, I had already lost 2 or 3 subscribers in just those few days. So that kind of put in perspective how things were going. So not my best month on terms of subscribers, but given that it was still a net gain, I am still happy about that. My second channel, I'm kind of, sitting in a weird spot because I didn't post very many videos over there. Had a handful of Music Mini of videos that were supposed to go up that obviously didn't. So things are a little bit down. 323 views compared to last month. To be fair, last month was a record-breaking month. So 323 being down 50% isn't the worst thing in the world. 323 is nothing to scoff at all, but definitely a lot less than previous. However, with the views being down, 95 or 94.3 watch hours is up from last month, and I think last month was record-breaking. I think 94.3 is handily the most watch hours I've gotten in any given month on the second channel so far. So again, very surprised and grateful for that. I appreciate all of that. Even though the views were way down, the average watch time was way up, so I think people checking out probably primarily the new Remnant 2 Let's Play episodes, people watching some of those videos. Those videos have been getting a little bit more views than I've been expecting in most regards. But I think a good chunk of those people are watching for a lot longer than they typically do on most of my Let's Play videos. So that's probably the main reason for that watch time. I got about 10,000 impressions last month, which was down quite a bit. But again, last month was kind of an outlier. I had a lot of impressions last month. On account of a couple particular videos just being shot up the most of anything on this channel up to this point. So still a pretty good month, however, considering that the impressions were down so much, the fact that the views were still where they were, and especially the watch hours being as high as they were, still great. I also had a net gain of 3 subscribers on the second channel, putting the total at 46. I was not expecting to gain very many subscribers over there over the course of the month, but I slowly did a handful of them, and I'm grateful for the people checking out the content. So that is everything for the statistics. Let's briefly go over some of the writing statistics over here. Once again, I've been just too busy to do very much writing at all. Almost all of the writing that I've done has been kind of offhand, just random, just maybe a couple hundred words at a time, reviewing a random album or something like that. So no words in the fiction category. As for reviews and blogs, I only wrote 11,000 words total this month, which for reference, I wrote 11,000 words in March by itself. just in the music category for blogs, not even counting book reviews or anything else like that. So 2,800 words of what I wrote in April were for the Path of Daggers book review that I wrote for Goodreads, which I was actually very happy about, and that review ended up going up before Overhaul started. So, you know, no small chunk of the amount of words that I actually did write were in the first couple of weeks before my crazy work schedule took over. Most of the rest of those actually took place over the last couple days, where my brain, for whatever reason, was just too exhausted to work on freelance stuff, but I was just able to like mindlessly write out some music reviews over on a music board, which haven't been posted yet at this point, but which will be at some point soon, just reviewing a whole bunch of the albums and EPs that I've been listening to, most of them instrumental, which I've been listening to while doing the freelance work. So 42 albums and EPs got reviewed over the course of April, which is a lot, but again, most of those were just the random instrumental albums that I was, you know, kind of listening to offhand while doing other work. Some of those, you know, the first couple weeks worth of those albums were covered on Music Mania, but most of them were written and are going to be posted off video at this point, and stuff that I'll come back to in Music Mania in a video later coming in June. So, you know, the remaining 8,200 or so words that I wrote in April were for that. Otherwise, I did not get any other words written. I did see a couple movies over the course of the month. Have not written reviews for either of those at this point, and probably won't have very much time to this month. As for this month, let's just say that the main goal is that I'm just trying to survive right now. So I've got a whole nother month of this really insane real life work schedule that I've got going on coming up ahead of me. And I'm going to be taking a minimum of the rest of this month working on a freelance project. And that is about the extent of what I have planned for this month as is, because that's going to take up all of my time this month. So I don't really have any other plans. I do have some exciting plans for June planned out because I'm going to need some time. I'm going to need a break. I'm going to need to refresh myself basically after the month and a half that I'll have had by then. But right now, I've just got to make it through May. It's going to be terrible, but I've just got to make it through. So everything else right now is on the back burner. I'm just planning on getting through my work schedule and then also getting through a specific freelance project that needs to be done. So that is what I'm doing right now. Thank God I'm planning a vacation for the beginning of June, though, because that is my only reprieve at this point, is thinking about that's going to happen. So yeah, that is the end of this video. It's a little bit longer than I had even anticipated it to be, but I appreciate you checking it out if you did. For now, I've been your host, King Crusoe. You can call me KC, and I hope to see you guys in the next video or the next several videos. I'm excited for what I've got coming up on the channel this month, and I promise you they're way better quality than this. They're a little bit more thought out and planned out, and maybe a little bit less rushed than this one is on account of having been done before my crazy work schedule, done a little bit ahead of time. So I'm pretty proud of most of those videos, and I hope that you stick around to watch them.